What are some of the biggest concerns that you have right now out there on the roads?
Well, obviously, the road conditions are creating the majority of the problems around the metro area. The weather itself is not only creating road hazards, but with the downed trees, falling around, knocking down power lines, all of those things are creating driving hazards for anybody who's out trying to navigate the roads.
And I'm going to guess one of the biggest recommendations is don't travel if you don't have to. But for those that are out there on the road, what are some recommendations that you have for them to drive safely during this?
First and foremost, my biggest recommendation is both hands on the wheel and eyes up, watching where you're going. Uh, if a road is closed, if the local road authority either has barricades up or it's just closed because there's a tree down or cars piled up, please don't try and navigate that roadway. Find another route, go around, and stay out of the area. For emergency responders, for anybody who might be out there stuck in their vehicles, or anything else. If you see if you come up to an intersection and there's flashing lights because the power's out in the area and the signals are malfunctioning, make sure and treat that like an all-way stop, just like if there was a stop sign there instead of a flashing light.
And that's one thing I can say I noticed was this was the other night driving home. Huge sections still without power, and anticipated that could be happening again. So when you have these sections of town without power, and when traffic lights are out, maybe not even the blinking lights in some situations, what is the protocol for somebody approaching a stop like that where there's no light at all?
Yeah, again, you treat it like as if there was a stop sign there instead of a signal, and come to a complete stop. Make sure that it's your turn before proceeding, instead of just traveling straight on through.
What are some of the biggest things that you've had to deal with so far just in what we've encountered with as far as traffic incidents and people out there on the roads?
Probably the biggest issue is cars sliding out, whether because they were not equipped for the conditions or some other reason that they slid off the road, crashed, anything like that, and just trying to keep them clear so that the rest of the traffic can move through.
Inevitably, there's going to be somebody out on the roads here when the freezing rain does come through and those roads become slick. What is the proper protocol to do if you are out on the roads? It does happen. The ice comes through, and say you can't drive anymore. What do you do in that situation?
The best thing you can do is find a safe place to pull over and call somebody who might be able to get out to you, or find a safe location to sit and wait for help.
And so for those that are, I mean, it was something that we've certainly seen before during these instances. I can think about last year and a couple of years ago, you end up seeing a lot of cars just parked there on, say, like Highway 26. So would the recommendation then is to get off to the side of the road if at all possible? Is that correct?
Yeah, move over as far to the edge of the roadway as possible. Those kind of situations are really difficult because you have issues either way. Do you stay in your car and take the chance of other vehicles coming through and sliding out, or do you get out of your vehicle and move as far away from the roadway as possible?
And any other recommendations that you would have for people out there right now? Just general safety tips and guidelines that they can follow during times like these.
Yeah, again, stay home if you can. That's really the biggest thing. I'm hoping that this is gone by tomorrow afternoon and everybody can be about their way. But one of the things that we see a lot of when we're out dealing with this is people trying to capture that tree down or that car slid off the road on their phone. They've got their phone in their hand as they're driving by, trying to get a video or a picture of what they're seeing. Please don't do that. You already need to be paying extra attention and having two hands on the wheel while you're driving in these conditions. And if you're busy focusing on something off to the side of the road, you're not paying attention to what's in front of you. You don't have two hands on the wheel, and you're distracted. You're not going to be able to react in time. So please keep the phone down, keep both hands on the wheel, and looking ahead.
Looking even beyond the ice that's going to be happening here over the next 24 hours, depending when you're watching this, we're in about a little after 1 o'clock here on Tuesday. So the ice is going to happen. There's all that's going to occur, but then there's also going to be a lot of slush on the road once this does start to melt. What are the recommendations for driving in that kind of slush and things that maybe people should think about that they're not already thinking about?
Yeah, even once that ice looks like it might be completely melted or gone off of the roadway, you are likely to still encounter some patches of ice on the roadway that's lingering for a day or two, even after temperatures warm up. So still be cautious of that. Mind your speed, keep the speed down, and again, both hands on the wheel, because if you have to react to something that you really don't expect in a day or two after what we're seeing right now, it'll catch you off guard and you're going to have a problem.
Now, for the people at your department who are still going to have to go out there, and drive in this in the event of an emergency, what do you do for your cars to prepare them for something like this?
Yep, we have chains available to every patrol car. Most of our vehicles are all-wheel drive or have four-wheel drive capabilities. We have everything ranging from sedans to SUVs to pickup trucks to be able to navigate pretty much any road condition that we need to.
Well, Sergeant, thank you very much for joining us. Anything else that you think the public should know?
Nope, just mind your speed, keep both hands on the wheel, and be safe out there.
Oh, actually, wait, one more question. I do have a question for you. In the event that you're driving and you do start sliding, what is the recommended thing to do in that situation?
Don't slam on the brakes. Uh, Steer towards the direction that you're sliding towards, and keep a foot on the gas pedal and try and gas your way through that slide.
So gas your way through it and out of that instead of slamming on the brakes and
Yeah, once you slam on the once you slam on the brakes, you have no control. The car is going to go where it wants to when the wheels aren't turning at all. If the wheels are at least turning, they've got the chance of picking up some traction and you being able to correct the slide.
Cool. Well, Sergeant, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate your time and thanks for all you do, and stay safe out there.
Thanks for having me.
All right, for everybody watching again, thank you for joining us. This is Fox 12 Now. Thank you to the Washington County Sheriff's Office there for joining us to talk about that and just some of the safety concerns and issues that are going to be arising that are already out there. I mean, I can tell you, even just coming in today, I slid in certain patches where it's just coming up to a stoplight. So it's important to stay very, very safe if you have to be out there on the roads. We're going to be talking about more safety issues here coming up throughout the afternoon. We are live streaming, as I mentioned before, on all of these different apps and the website and social media channels. So you can join us on all those. We'll be back here shortly to talk about more safety and about the use of 911 during times like this, and when you should or should not be using 911 for emergency situations, perhaps some of the other avenues that you can navigate the concerns that you have. So we'll be having that coming up, but we'll sign off for right now, so you'll get a notification when we're back. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.